Oh, hello there. I'm assuming you're on the way to my cabin for another story, huh? Funny that we should run into each other out here in the woods. Yes, I know it's winter. Yes, I know people typically wear clothes while outside during winter. Yes, I am freezing my balls off, but a little numbness wouldn't hurt for what I have planned for this evening. Werewolf cocks are bigger than... You know what? Let's walk and talk. I'm actually looking for a cryptid this evening that might make for an excellent story. Just bear in mind that you probably want to leave once I find him unless, I don't know, are you attracted to upright canids at all? Wait. I'm an upright canid. Anyway, let's talk about the Michigan Dogman, an episode on Foxxo Esoterica that I've been very excited for quite a while now. Welcome to the foxhole at Foxxo Esoterica. I promise I was sober when I wrote this. Welcome back to Foxxo Esoterica, everybody. The podcast where I have to disclaim that yes, all of the reports of ghosts and such that I use for my research are, in fact, made by sober and sane individuals, neither of which are things that I am. This month, I am going to be introducing my first furry guests that I've had on this podcast. Something that I probably should have been doing since episode 1, considering this is, in some vague way, a furry podcast. But you know, you can put it off for 4 episodes and then get to it when you get to it. This month, I'll be introducing Kay and Crimson, close fur friends from Wisconsin. And while I have been recording, I guess remotely for the 1 episode I've had to, I do want to make a disclaimer that yes, I am recording this episode in person, but we have been safe and good at testing and good at quarantining, and I do want to point out that these friends are people who I have also been living with in addition to my parents throughout the course of this pandemic. I have been living at their house for a good 3 or so months through summer and spring, so we're all safe for anybody who's worried. Also, to reiterate, be safe, wear a mask, don't go to parties, or I will find you. And I know a few curses. Anyway, I also want to allude that this will be a 2-part series. Sort of, in a way. And that next month's episode is going to be related. However, I will explain what that's all about later in the episode, because we do end up talking about it. Without further ado, I need to make a joke about how I need to shorten the intro to this song somehow. It's hard when you did an improv trumpet solo and you can't really splice it up to fit neatly. Alright, we're back with Foxxo Esoterica for real. Here I am in Madison, Wisconsin, with 2 of my close fur friends who I introduced in the introduction already. They're laughing because I'm recording this before I have actually even thought about making a script for that. But here I am with Crimson the Wolf and Kay the Pup. Hello everybody.
Hello. Hello.
I'm at their house. We're also, I think I'm gonna definitely say something, but we're all safe and quarantined and stuff. I am very close friends and I visit often. But hi! Welcome to Foxxo Esoterica. How are y'all feeling this evening?
Oh, alright. Feels great.
Oh, do you all want to say who's who?
Hi, I'm Crimson.
I'm Kay.
And we sound very similar.
We really do. People get us confused on the phone all the time. It's kind of funny.
Well, that's fine. I don't have that issue with Zuma because he has a thick accent.
Yeah.
I don't have a thick accent.
Ooh woo. But yeah, welcome to the podcast. I think I asked you this before we recorded, but do y'all have anything you feel like you want to plug, or are you just ready to dive right in?
No, we're good. So what's the theme of today's episode?
Okay. I have notes. Before I say anything, this one goes out to Linda Godfrey. You all will know who that is in a second because I'm going to name drop her 80 times. And I have name dropped her for every single episode I've made. But also, before I jump in, I do want to illuminate one thing, and that is with this story, much like the first episode, at the very end I'm going to save a story of a personal encounter with the thing in which we are talking about this evening. Believe me, if you will. Just before we start, are y'all on the, skeptic side of spooky ghost things, or more towards the believer side.
I'm definitely on the skeptic side, but I will entertain any kind of story as long as it's entertaining.
Cool.
I too will entertain entertainment.
This one's gonna be fun. Oh my god, did I not fucking write the encyclopedia? I suck at this whole podcast.
You can edit this part out.
No, I'm gonna keep it because I like to. It's funny if I self-deprecate.
Keep it in.
Oh my god, okay, I'm gonna edit this out because I have to actually go to a different document because I didn't fucking write down what I was gonna do.
Nice job for SETI.
We can say anything now.
You can
Doesn't
say
count.
anything.
It's not canon. 9/11 was an inside job. Don't put that in the show. I don't mean it.
I will not be doing that.
Put it in the show. He means it.
And we're back. For real. The encyclopedic collection of this episode is from the Irumabo Phantasma collection. Things pertaining to ghosts, demons, spiritual phenomenon, witches, and the supernatural. And the subcategory, cryptid currency. And you can guess what that's about. The potion brewed for this evening is New Glarus's Spotted Cow Ale. I've only taken one shot.
Is it an ale?
That's what it says on the can.
I guess it is an ale, huh?
And I'm going to do the ASMR thing I love doing, because I only buy cans. Let's do it. Let's taste it.
Oh, I've been drinking this for like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's okay.
No. You're tasting it for the first time.
This is the first time.
Yeah, sure. I've never had New Glarus before living in Madison, Wisconsin.
I don't think
First time I've ever tasted it.
This is very much it's just a Pilsner. We're having fun. It doesn't taste like an ale.
I was like kind of surprised. I was like, it tastes like a. It does not taste like.
This tastes very subdued and gentle, and that's okay for me. Prost.
Toast.
Oh, thank you. Anyway, let's begin with the legend. The Michigan Dogman is a cryptid I don't feel like I have to fully explain. It's a dogman, and it lives in Michigan. The seminal sighting of this being, allegedly, was made by 11 lumberjacks in Wexford County in 1887, a community sort of near Traverse City, famous for its logging. Apparently, this sighting involved the 11 men chasing around an animal they thought was a dog, and then it ran into a hollow log, and they poked it with sticks until it stood upright at around 7 feet with glowing yellow eyes. This creature startled the whole lot of them, who all quit their jobs and apparently never spoke of it again, except for one person, I think, because otherwise we wouldn't have this story. If that story seems odd and scripted, that's because it's the opening story in the song The Legend, written by Steve Cook, a disc jockey at WTCM-FM in Traverse City. The song The Legend was released on April 1st, 1987, as an April Fool's Day prank. That was a hard sentence to say. This is where the story really begins. Steve Cook gathered random stories about maybe Wolfman-esque, werewolf-esque sightings from around the U.S., fabricated a saga of stories, and then put them to song. The theme of the song being that the Dogman sighting is fated to happen on any year ending in 7. The thing is, though, Cook completely made up each story, probably even the instigating lumberjack story. He never even heard about a Michigan Dogman or a creature going by that name prior to publishing the song. However, once he put out the song, that's when the calls came in. Calls that people had encountered this creature for real, in the North Lower Peninsula woods, much to Cook's bafflement, as he thought he made it up. As of 2007, when he made the newer updated recording of the legend, he had received over 100 authentic-sounding calls to his volition, of people claiming to see this creature, and that's not even where all of the... Oh, I don't know how to read the things I write. And that's not even all there is to it. The Michigan Dogman, everybody. This is the one I have been saving from for the very beginning. This is my favorite cryptid of all time. I love the Michigan Dogman. The source
song about it.
Oh, I'll show you all the song at the end. I don't think I can show you right now because copyright. But wait, can you put a song on a podcast?
I was like,
It's probably not a good idea.
Would the copyright be to you?
Hey there, everyone. I forgot I wrote a song about the Michigan Dogman. Kay was talking about that, and I thought he was talking about the legend. I just wanted to make sure no one's confused. Because I was when I was reviewing this. I don't know. Like, I know people have done it from when I've listened to it.
Is it your song?
No, it's not my song.
Oh, you're the other.
Probably
okay,
shouldn't.
okay.
Yeah.
That's probably the. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that.
I won't do it. Shouts to Steve Cook. Everybody look up his song. It's on Spotify. Here's the sources. But I cannot tell the story without the help of my idol, Linda Godfrey, who has amalgamated and I've never met her, by the way, who has amalgamated and documented far more than 100 sightings and published a good half dozen books on upright canids across the world. She's like literally like 12 of them. Canids. Oh yeah, I've got like 2 of them in my bag. The two books. There we go. Segue. The 2 books that I'm reading, the 2 of the book, Real Wolfmen, True Encounters in Modern America, and The Michigan Dogman are the main books that I read, in addition to her own blog online. Now, seeing as I am recording in Madison, Wisconsin with my friends, seasoned paranormal, I'm really good at this, I promise. Seasoned paranormal people would expect that I'd be talking about the Beast of Bray Road, Wisconsin's answer to the Michigan Dogman, and the original catalyst that sent Godfrey on her mission to document these upright canids, especially since that son of a gun is constantly reported less than an hour away from where I am currently sitting. And when I say less than an hour away, I mean in Fitchburg multiple times.
It's in Fitchburg.
Yeah, the Beast of Bray Road is there. A hint as to what the next episode's going to be about. However, this is the Dogman that we're talking about today, because that's my favorite. I want to do it first, and also have a personal story. Making the Beast of Bray Road episode next month. So whoever's going to be my guest, do not listen to this podcast. I said that in the wrong order, but, you know, I'm going to pick somebody who hasn't listened to it yet. Also, other sources include Wikipedia, baby. Always using it. The song The Legend by Steve Cook / Bob Farley, his real name. An actual source of information sometimes. I also used a written...
Wait, he changed his name from Bob Farley to Steve Cook?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I have no idea. Like, both are totally okay names.
I know, it's just like...
Sounds fishy to me.
He didn't make it more exotic or less exotic. It's just sort of went right to the side there.
Totally. I really want to play this song, but I'm going to save it for the end. That's a treat for the end.
All right.
I'm also using an article...
From side grade Steve.
I also used an article written by Allison Hudson titled Wag the Dogman on a Skeptoid podcast website, as well as an article on WordPress by a user who did not share their name online, but they're called The Indelible Life of Me, and I thought that was fun. The article is titled, Does the Michigan Dogman Exist? So, thoughts so far? Have you all heard about this one at all?
What? Only from you.
Only from you, on numerous occasions.
Yeah, I bring it up a lot. This episode was inevitable.
Yeah. I was surprised you hadn't done it already.
Nope. I don't know why.
I thought we were the first episode.
Yeah.
I wanted to save doing the Dogman for like when I was actually hanging out with furries, because I was going to do it last month, but last month was a Christmas episode because it was literally on the 25th, and I had no choice. I released these on the 25th, and then the month before that, I don't have an excuse. I should have done this earlier. Anyway, let's start with the story at the true beginning, with indigenous peoples' reportings and also the Detroit Loup-garou, which I feel are related. Apparently, the Lumberjack Sighting was the sort of first recorded upright canid sighting in Michigan, upright canids being the term Linda Godfrey uses to describe these doggos, and what I'll definitely be using often. But A, that story is probably mostly entirely apocryphal / fake, and at most, stemming from random lumberjack sightings that probably weren't actually ever recorded. And B, upright canids were reported by the indigenous Odawa and Chippewa people in the Manistee area region first. Yeah, who gave it a spirit entity correlation, although I couldn't get more information about dogmen in Odawa / Chippewa religion outside of Wikipedia, so that's also kind of dubious. However, Godfrey's book also mentioned that when she met with an anthropologist and Ho-Chunk Nation elder in Wisconsin, she mentioned that the elder themselves mentioned that the people believed that the man-wolves, and then also Bigfoot to a degree, are like spirit entities that enter into our realm from a spirit realm before returning through a doorway. But I also, now that I've started this, I do want to take the time to mention one thing out of order, because I don't know where to put this information, but a good 90+% of dogman sightings are incredibly similar. Something that doesn't usually happen if hundreds of people are making it up. According to Godfrey, quote, something that stands between 5 and 7 feet tall, covered in shaggy fur ranging from gray to very dark, brown, admittedly 2 very different colors, Long-snouted, pointy-eared, and able to get around on either 2 or 4 feet and switch between the two modes easily. ... In almost every case, the exception being one man in Quebec Province, Canada, who said his hip was grazed by an errant fane. The creature retreats as soon as he is witnessed and is either scared senseless or departs the scene. Or as the witness is either scared senseless or departs the scene. Also, a good 2/3 of people report piercing yellow eyes, which is not common color for scary creatures in the night.
Really? I would have thought that piercing
like
yellow
a bear, actually.
would be more common.
Yeah, I like the bear analogy. But yeah, I always thought that like red would be the like go-to for a scary thing.
I think that's just more of an artistic one. Like red isn't that common in nature.
That
you
makes
see
sense.
it in like some squirrels and in some birds, but
If I saw a squirrel with red eyes, it'd be like it's a vampire squirrel.
in coloration, not in eyes. No one has red eyes in the real world except for
That's why I
people
would
in the
think it's a vampire
90s
squirrel.
Oh,
in
yeah.
photographs.
Probably like an eye glare thing too, not like a iris. What's the colorful part of the eye called?
Iris.
Iris. Cool. Yeah, it's probably like an eye shine
Eye
thing.
glare is reflected off the, I think, tapetum lucidum, in the back of the eyes of certain animals, because they got the little thingy so they can shine, get the light through their light receptors twice, so to get better dark vision.
Cool. I
Which is
didn't
why
know
your
that.
dog looks like a demon.
I like that. Yay.
I
That was
had-
illuminating.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a
I see,
pun.
illuminating.
No, I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
I'm taking it back because it was bad.
No, that's a good one,
That's
actually.
good. That's good. I like it.
I'll take it, though. Back to the topic at hand, though. The Potawatomi people, who lived where the city of Kalamazoo stands today, which I purposely left out of my Kalamazoo episode because I knew I was going to do this episode eventually, believed that an older people referred to as the Yam Kodesh built elegant geometric-shaped mounds near water for religious reasons, and it is said that spirits, sometimes of a canine variety, protect them. Not to jump into the burial mound paranormal stereotype train, because I do want to say this. Thinking of indigenous people's religion and practices as extremely spiritual and full of magicalness often leads to a sort of cultural appropriation if non-indigenous people attempt to emulate these practices for magic powers or something along those lines. And the connection between burial grounds and the paranormal is a stereotype that sort of pushes this cultural appropriation and exotification of people's cultures in a way that does a disservice to them, especially since a lot of the theories of burial mound ghosts, spirit things also kind of came from academics outside of indigenous communities, i.e. white people. So while it is true that a non-zero number of Dogman sightings came from areas around there, a takeaway I want you to take away is please don't think that an indigenous person can summon a Dogman, and you can too. That's rude. That's
That'd be cool, though.
That would be cool. It'd be really useful for furries.
I don't want to think about what furries would summon dogmen for, other than the obvious.
I don't know. I feel like probably if you summon a dogman, it won't exactly go the way you want it to go.
I haven't come up with a script for the cold open yet, but it's obviously going to be something along those lines.
Yeah.
I mean, the cold open's going to involve me seducing it. I hope you all know.
Okay. We haven't heard the court open yet, but I'm not
Well,
surprised.
I haven't made a script yet, but I know the direction I'm taking it.
Don't sound like such a cold opening to me.
It'll be hot. Oh no, it'll be actually pretty.
Or cold.
It'll be like a blue balls situation because it'll be like, oh, I haven't found it yet. So, I'm making this up right now. I'm gonna listen to this back. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write a cold open. I don't have to do that work. I did it already. Something else that's pre-Wexford County Lumberjacks is objectively French. Werewolves. French settlers settled the city of Detroit and brought along their werewolf superstitions because France had a sort of canine-themed witch hunt thing going on back in the day. Perhaps the most well-documented story involves the Archmage... Archmage...
I was like, wait.
I'm reading-
When did France have archmages?
I have a quick Michigan question for you.
What's
so, if Detroit was founded by French, wouldn't it be Detroit?
Well, yeah, it should be.
Detroit.
But we became American and decided to use all the letters.
I'm sorry, but Detroit sounds like a great name for people from Detroit.
Detroit. I like that. Detroit. Now I'm trying to make it better, but I made it worse.
Reminds me of the weirdest French city name, like Des Moines. It's just like some monks. It's like I don't know how they named that city unless
Some monks.
some monks.
That's so good. I think Detroit is like something to do with like on a river. Like Troy is a river word.
Yeah. Duh.
So they're very mundane over there, I will say. Also, I'm reading fast. I'm like speaking faster than my eyes are reading. I took multiple shots. We've all been in this podcast before. So when I'm...
More shots.
You can do it up. You don't have to read these. I'm going to make the font bigger. That's just something I'm going to do right now. Knock that out of the way.
How's this Jameson? Let's go with that.
And the font is bigger.
So many slugs into this now.
And I can read.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so when I said Archmage, I meant to say a French name, Archange, or,
Ooh, that's wet.
where the fuck did it go? Archange Simone, or Archange Simone. I'm not saying that word correctly, and I know that. In the 16th century. This person was stolen at her own wedding, and her groom only managed to cut off the tail of the werewolf that stole her before the wolf disappeared forever. And also, apparently, it escaped by jumping into the mouth of a giant catfish, in some stories, so that's fun.
Did it escape with the girl?
Yeah.
Wait, why did it steal
They both
her?
jumped into a... There's no reason.
Did they give a backstory for this?
The backstory was this guy was really in love with the... I didn't write this down, I'm going from memory, but the protagonist, whose name I didn't write down, so I did not remember, was in love with a girl, really wanted to woo her. He didn't have enough money. Now I do. Let's get married. A werewolf swoops in.
Well, that's so
Out of nowhere.
So
Is
disappointing.
this a German tale?
That's
There's
French.
so many cool
French?
backstories it could
Okay.
be. It's like maybe the girl was a werewolf.
No, it
maybe
just
the
came
girl
out
had
of
a
nowhere.
werewolf lover. I don't know. Maybe it's a parable about. Maybe the girl represents like. I don't know, natural resources or something.
Oh, this
and the
isn't a
man
story.
Metaphor. Okay.
This
all right.
really happened.
Oh.
alright.
Yeah, it just have to
Mr.
make
Steal Your
sense.
Girl.
It's Mr. Steal Girl.
Except
And
it's a
they-
werewolf,
it's a
so you
werewolf.
can't really argue with him because he's a fucking werewolf.
Maybe the
Yeah.
girl didn't really want to get married. It's just like she hired someone to kidnap him.
Maybe she wants that big red dick. I don't know. Who knows?
I agree, though. But then they jumped into a
Just some fucking
catfish.
werewolf steals her, jumps on a catfish.
We have to talk about the catfish more because I don't like.
What does the catfish represent here? Is it?
That's what. Okay, so the groom reported the catfish. Nobody else saw
Oh,
the catfish.
Back in the olden days, they were all about swallowing. In the old stories, people get swallowed whole all the time.
They're all about
Because if you
catfish.
spit,
Spitting is
you're
a
a quitter.
Well, spitting is a modern adaptation.
Wait. Technically, the sin in onanism was Onan letting his seed touch the ground.
Okay,
Yeah, let's go with that.
I like that.
So it might be more pious to swallow.
You get to go to heaven if you swallow.
Yeah.
So
Well, no,
everybody
you help
take that
the other
home.
person go to heaven.
Aw,
Doesn't do anything for you. You can just not come. That works.
that also works.
You save their soul with every swallow.
do your man a service. Get him to heaven. Don't spit.
Also, I'm not a biblical scholar, so maybe that's just completely wrong. But I like to.
I'm not either.
I don't know. That seems right to me, so I'm just gonna go with it.
It's entered my headcanon.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna just, it's in the real world now. We're gonna Mandela effect that.
Yeah. Maybe we'll propagate.
The other Loop Guru story I could find involves a man falling in love with someone who ended up becoming a nun. So the best thing he could think of was to ask some witches to turn him into a werewolf. But then when he went to the convent to steal her away, he came face to face with the statue of the Virgin Mary, and that caused him to turn to stone.
Why? I don't get. That was the best solution he came up with. It was just like, hey, turn me into a werewolf.
He was.
A creature renowned for killing lots of people, so I can get my girl back.
And now he's
Can we talk
stoned.
about the statue effect? Just like rock hard at the altar. Just can't get in because of the statue of the Virgin Mary.
Absolute cockblock.
Mary Medusa confirmed.
Mary
Mary
Magdalena. Wait, I don't think I've read the Bible. Mary Magdalene and Mary are two different people, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay, cool. Because somebody told
There's
me they
the Virgin
weren't.
Mary, and then there's Mary Magdalene,
Okay.
who was the first prostitute, and that would be a pretty wild turn of events if they were the same person.
Yeah.
But I kind of like this. I kind of like the storyline.
Alter ego.
I think there's some theory that like Mary was actually in a relationship with Jesus, but
Which
early
one?
Christian. No, the other one, not the one who was his mom.
Is prostitution not okay in the Bible? I wonder.
It's not okay.
I think it's not okay, but Jesus
early
was like,
Christians were
"You're
like,
okay."
yeah, the early Christians were like, no,
But Jesus was
we
like,
have our own narrative.
you get a pass, Mary. You're named after my mom.
Wow. Fucking May.
Anyway.
Seriously, why did you want to?
These are absolute true stories, so I need you to keep that in mind.
Also, how did people learn that he got turned into... He asked the witch to turn into a werewolf if he ends up stone at the end of the story?
The witch
His biography.
He wrote it down in his diary.
You never wrote a biography while stoned before?
Or maybe the witches were snitches.
The witches were snitches.
The witches were
always
Snitches?
Witches are bitches, bitches are snitches.
Dude, but they're not getting stitches.
C.
That werewolf isn't stone.
Huh.
One more apocryphal than the Dogman stories I'm going to be talking about later. The fact that in Detroit, people felt the urge to label things as a loup-garou is an interesting relation. The believability of these stories is leaving a lot to be desired. However, it wasn't in their mind. It wasn't not in their mind that werewolves exist. So that's the takeaway here. However, it's not just these back in the day stuff. There are a handful of stories that take place before 1987 when the song The Legend was first released, and here they are. There's not a lot. A lot more of them do come after the song, and so I will give skeptics leeway down that avenue. But there are a couple stories beforehand. One of the most popularly recorded sightings of the Dogman happened in 1938, or 37 in some reports, I don't know why. In Paris, Michigan, north of Grand Rapids about an hour. Robert Fortney was reportedly attacked by 5 wild dogs, and as he reached for his gun to fire a warning shot, all of the dogs ran off, save for one, that stood upright a good 6 feet and glared at him with piercing blue eyes, and started gritting, until Fortney fired another warning shot, this time scaring the beast off.
Huh.
That's that story.
Right.
What kind of animal is just like, ha, I'm gonna smile at you,
You missed.
after the first gunshot, but then the second gunshot, and I was like, oh shit.
I'm
And
glad
then
that you...
like, I'm not sure if that's like a dumb werewolf or a smart one.
I'm glad you brought up the grinning, because that's going to happen 3 more times. They like to smile.
All smiles, baby.
All smiles for miles.
Positivity from the cryptid activity.
I like that. In 1961, near a manufacturing plant in Big Rapids, next door to Paris, Michigan, was another sighting. A neighbor to the plant in the Haymarsh State Game Area saw something rustling behind a chain fence at 3 in the morning. The person drew a gun, thinking it was an intruder, but when he discovered that it was instead a gray and brown furred humanoid looking for something in the driveway, the man quietly got into his house, grabbed a camera, and snapped a photo of the creature, albeit a not great photo. Here it is. You have to come around and see it.
Okay, let's go look at this photo.
Don't look at the... Oh, it's... Nobody in the podcast is going to see it.
Wait, click
Are you
on-
good?
Can you enhance?
No, but I can look it up.
Just all the resolution it has.
I just kind of copy-pasted. I don't know why. I'm not cutting this out, or maybe I am. I just typed in Michigan into Google. Woo! There it
These
is.
are just regular werewolves. Okay.
Boop. Nobody in the podcast can see this, and that's okay for me.
When was this from? 1961?
1961.
Enhance.
You can't...
Ooh, that 480 by 360
I
resolution.
know.
Jeez.
It's just behind a lamppost. Anyway, that photo sucks, and I'm gonna be the first to admit that. And it might even be fake, but it also was like fully like developed in 61, and there is proof of that, which means that like the main takeaway here is that hoaxes aside, the legend of the Dogman existed before the legend existed because they would put a hoax up in 61. So that's a good takeaway.
Does they put a hoax up?
Or like if the photo is a hoax, it was still developed in 1961 before the legend happened, so that's like an indicator that the song didn't start the legend.
Yes, that
Okay.
makes sense.
That's the main takeaway.
That's fair. That could also be just like an emaciated black bear, or a normal black bear or something.
Bears do live in the Lower Peninsula. Wolves do not.
Okay.
Coyotes do, but coyotes are small as fuck.
I bet wolves
Coyotes
lived
are
there
cute.
once upon a time.
They did, and now they don't anymore because man is the greatest enemy.
Because we shot them. Yes.
We killed them. Here's another quick story in 1982, 5 years before the song was released, and this one takes place at Bald Mountain State Recreation Area in Rochester, Michigan, north of Detroit, and also where I went to college. OU, baby.
It's so communist for some reason. It's like the state recreation area.
Did they not do that in Wisconsin?
I think we did some parks.
Michigan calls all the parks state recreation area.
It's like,
I never thought about that.
Recreation area.
You don't have a
it definitely sounds like a badly translated Soviet title.
I do want everybody to remember that state recreation area, though, because it'll come up later. This story involves a group of buddies in spring setting up a bonfire in an abandoned stone quarry and four-wheeling around, not drinking or smoking, as the author wants us to know.
Don't you mean like mineral, I don't know, reclamation zone or something?
The stone substance manufactory. They're not drinking or smoking. Our protagonist has to pee. So he went behind... Oh, his name is Jerry. He has to pee. So he went behind a pile of rubble and did just that. That's when he felt the presence of a presence behind him. I wrote that like that.
I feel like it's more suspicious if they claim they weren't drinking or smoking, because why would you go out in the woods and not drink?
They were four-wheeling.
Ah, all right.
Yeah. They were.
I'm
they were
sorry.
doing a
I've
hobby.
seen a redneck before.
I think
four-wheelers never stop no one.
These are teenagers in my college town, and I went to college there, and they're not rednecks.
I'm
That is
sorry.
a wealthy fucking neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
There is money in Rochester. He felt the presence behind him, turned around, and saw a hulking 7-foot-tall, dark brown furred, yellow-eyed, upright canid. I chose to write that like that. Oh my god, you say that. And the book says this exact quote, not me. I'm sorry, Jerry, that furries are going to make a furry joke. Its arms were at its side. Is the quote. Its arms were at its side, and I had a feeling that it was checking me out. That's what the book said.
That's wonderful.
Ooh, woo.
Ooh, indeed. There you go.
Is it an ooh woo or an oh whoa situation?
I
Being
don't think
checked
Jerry
out
was
by a scary werewolf man.
probably. Oh, whoa, Jerry got afraid. The thing before I talk about the
gay panic.
He's in the closet.
Gay wolf panic. Panic! It's the gay wolves.
Here's the other thing. He was carrying with him a musky, gamey scent. Furries, shut up.
Of course it was.
A musky gamey.
A musky
Gamey scent.
Ooh.
It did have more dog-like features than wolf-like features also, and a thick coat of fur around its neck, almost like a mane, is the other observation.
That's just floof.
He had a
Furries adds
fluke.
all the art.
Jerry invented furries in 1982? Yeah. So this made Jerry make a mad dash to the truck everyone was inside of and already and prepared to leave. Thankfully, they didn't have to leave anything behind. Only to find that the creature was chasing them on 2 feet for about a quarter mile, switching between 2 and 4 feet for mobility's sake. He never made the report until 2009, though, which I do want to bring focus to, because while the story allegedly takes place in the 80s, this is an ample enough time to make something up post the legend, the song. So, I believe him. But you know, you gotta give skeptics their due.
He didn't report it till furries existed.
This
He
sounds
didn't.
like the plot for Eight-Legged Freaks, so I'm shook.
What is the Eight-Legged Freaks?
I vaguely remember.
Oh,
that movie.
Eight-Legged Freaks!
I
It's a
saw a movie
movie
a
about
long time
giant
ago.
spiders.
Oh, gross.
And it's...
No, spiders are friends.
Like, if they... I have an
Let
opinion
me-
on spiders, but we're gonna let Crimson do his thing first.
Alright.
Alright, so there are giant spiders, and at one point they are four-wheeling and like dirt biking to get somewhere in a hurry, and there are jumping spiders or wolf spiders that are like running after them.
I'm
and that
assuming
are, like,
really large.
Oh, huge, like mountain lion size, like jumping and
Aw.
like taking people off of bikes and stuff.
Mountain lions are the one I'm dating, so that's why not the spiders. Spiders are not cute.
Spiders.
Spiders are adorable. Haven't you seen that one animated spider?
Lucas the spider? Yeah.
Lucas
Okay.
the spider.
Aw.
He's pretty cute.
That's-
You just said that
that's
because his
his
name is
real name.
Lucas.
Yeah. Shit, well, now I'm gonna like
Ooh,
spiders.
Gay fox.
My boyfriend is both Lucas and a mountain lion, so this is single-handedly making me like spiders.
yeah. Come watch Eight-Legged Freaks. There, you got spiders that aren't cute and the size of mountain lions, or larger.
Here's my opinion, okay? Spiders are cool as long as they're, like, manageable in size, like smaller than my fist. They're also cool if they're not colorful. If they're colorful, I hate them, specifically black widows, and that's irrational.
But black and red is such a cool style.
Well, it's cool.
Recently, the polar vortex has collapsed, so we're going to see slightly warmer temperatures in some parts of the U.S., and so we're going to get more mosquitoes. So spiders are more important than ever now.
I love them now, especially since I don't
Wouldn't
have
bats be more important?
We don't have enough bats. We're
gonna
just go with the spiders.
we're putting our chips on the spider table.
We're hoping for the spiders.
I like bats more.
we
yeah.
can have
Their
both.
poop is really good for fertilizer, I think.
I don't.
And fireballs.
That is true. I
Like
don't think you're ever gonna
fireballs,
encounter that
the
poop, but
tingling, or like you're making a mixed drink?
No, like
I don't.
like
no.
like like a 3rd level spell that does
Oh.
1d6 per level, max d10.
I'm thinking
Or
about
max
alcohol.
10d6 at 10th level.
That's more palatable than
Long
was
range
thinking.
spell.
Did they change that for 5th edition?
20-foot radius. Probably.
I don't know. It wasn't actually that good a spell in 3rd edition. Iconic as it was.
I don't think I've ever gotten past level 3
It was
anytime
always
I've ever
fine.
played
It was a
Dungeons and
damage dealing
Dragons.
spell.
was-
We probably shouldn't get into this.
Yeah.
We can. I have no doubt that people listening to this podcast have an enjoyment.
I'm
of
sure
Nerds.
Everyone already knows that
Nerds.
playing a wizard to deal damage was the wrong way to play a wizard in 3.5.
I've never gotten past level 3 anytime I've played Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
We always give up.
Well, even then, you just color spray people, and you're
Oh,
like,
I love color spray.
yeah. Glitter dust.
I love
okay,
color
I'm
spray.
being touched. All right.
The podcast. Now we're going to talk about Linda Godfrey, for real. Linda Godfrey. What can be said about her? I brought her up every single episode I've made of this podcast. She doesn't respond to my emails.
Have you sent her emails?
Yes.
It's like I'm doing a podcast.
I have a Dogman sighting. Linda...
She didn't even inquire about your dog.
It's well, you're gonna hear it and then you're gonna understand.
Okay.
Alright. Linda Godfrey is a legendary figure in my life. She's an investigative journalist turned author of 18 books, some paranormal investigations, and 1 fictional novel. She also does a lot of work on in-person investigations with shows like Monster Quest, and interviews a lot with various newspapers, radio shows, and podcasts that aren't mine. If there's an A-list paranormal podcast, she's been on it. She's also a Wisconsin native, which is cool, because, like, that's the state we're in right now.
Does she live close? Can you, like, go to
Elkhorn.
her house?
Yeah, she's in Elkhorn. That's, like, an hour that way.
All right.
I pointed, so those in the podcast assume I pointed southeast. Anyway, Linda's main area of expertise is upright canines, Dogmen. While her father told stories of odd UFO sightings here and there, her work really didn't begin until she worked for a newspaper in Wisconsin, moving from illustrator to reporter when the newspaper had her investigate multiple reports of a werewolf-esque creature in Wisconsin, soon to be dubbed the Beast of Bray Road. But I'll do that story on a different podcast. Anecdotally, though, at this point, Godfrey had no knowledge of cryptid studying and was intrigued when the only evidence on the case was given by an animal control officer and in a single envelope marked werewolf. So imagine you're a journalist and they're like, here's the werewolf folder. I thought that was funny. Ever since the popularity of her coverage of the beast, though, Godfrey has received hundreds, if not thousands, of reports from around the world, though Wisconsin and Michigan are the hotbeds. This legend would not be nearly as well documented as it is if it weren't for the work of Godfrey, who has taken to document the stuff. So yeah, she's really cool, probably the only reason I'm talking about this right now. But meat and potatoes time. While she doesn't have a clear-cut encounter, there is one half-sighting, half-coincidence story involving Linda Godfrey. But before we go into that, I think I have to... Oh, no, there's more information to the background. In 2006, in Reed City, Michigan, nearest to Wexford County lumberjacking thing that happened, History Channel had a show, Monster Quest. I typed guest.
That would be so much better.
That would be a way better show.
Monster guest.
Here's our guest.
I would totally watch a show where they have someone interview like a cryptid or someone dressed up as a cryptid. You
Oh,
know what?
Mothman. How's it going?
Ooh, maybe that's what you should... yeah.
Is that what I should do?
Yes.
Shit.
Today we have the elusive straight furry.
Monster guest.
Monster guest.
Monster guest.
They wanted to do the Michigan Dogman, and that is a feat impossible without the direct aid and presence of Linda Godfrey.
And they wanted to do the Michigan Dogman thing.
Oh, you know, I
Don't
guess
we all?
I would do it if Linda Godfrey was in the room. I would be okay with that.
She probably, I don't know anything about Linda Godfrey, but
She's
she'd,
Like a
I bet she'd
50-year-old
record it.
woman.
Yeah.
She'd report it.
She'd record it.
Oh.
She'd record it.
I feel like I don't know if she might like record the before and after, but I'm under the impression she's like
A 50-year-old woman.
a 50-year-old woman.
She's saying something. She's gotten out there, baby. Don't
been around the
underestimate
block.
her.
I might edit that out because I want her on this podcast before
She
I
could
die.
be a sexual powerhouse. We don't know.
Linda Godfrey, you're a sexual powerhouse. And I'm actually going to not edit that out. I'm letting it go out there. At first, the sightings were no
Hi,
more.
Linda. Thank you.
Hey, we love you, Linda.
We love you, Linda.
Keep on doing God's work.
At-
I don't know why I said that.
God's work. Werewolf reporting.
that's work for me. That's the God's work to me.
God's plan.
It's God's plan. At first, the sightings were no more than the milieu. Yellow eyes staring from the bushes, the sound of a very large mammal shaking its fur, a hulking shape circling the crew just out of direct view of the flashlight, and to top it off, motion sensor being triggered when none of the show's crew were present. This is an eerie detail when comparing it to a report that brought them out there in the first place. I did segue this nicely. Yay.
Ooh.
In 2006, earlier in the summer, 3 men went to go check out an old school building at night, also with the intention of finding a dogman. Furries relate. On top of that, one of the group had a dogman sighting nearby at his house a few years back, but nothing too much of consequence happened out of that. So now the trio waited in their car, listening to crickets chirping, when all of a sudden, they stopped. Silence. Then, a large silhouette circled around them, vague and anonymous, until they shined a mag light and revealed it. A 6'9" nice, dark brown bipedal mass, because 69. I have to point it out.
I got it.
Pointing it out.
We got it.
How did they get 6.9 exactly?
6'9".
How did they get 6'9" exactly? 6 3/4?
Because it's the sex number.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's actually probably why.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Nice dark brown bipedal furry mass standing, half obscured, from behind a tree, 50 feet away from the men. This prompted them to become very afraid, and they drove off, coming to their senses, objectively, after a few minutes, and all collectively deciding to come back to try to find it again. Usually this is where these stories end. But as they approached a second time, it didn't even take seconds before the school's automatic lights turned on to illuminate what they triggered in its full glory. A 200-plus pound, near 7 foot tall, full, yellow-eyed dogman, albeit with a thinner muzzle than most have reported. This prompted the men to, once again, become quite afraid and drive off, only to be chased by the creature, who kept up a good pace. The men all got home, and one man, Michigan University student John Lyons, immediately Googled Dogman and got in contact with Linda, the lucky fucking bastard. Emails were exchanged, and Godfrey agreed to check out the sighting, but not before he had 2 other friends decide to check it out for a 3rd time. Lo and behold, this trio had only to wait 10 minutes before a shadowy shape moved in the distance. John shone his mag light. This is a day later, by the way. John shone his mag light again and illuminated, for a 3rd time now, an upright canid. However, this creature was different from the first, in that it had gray fur and also shorter fur, albeit crouching like an ape when they saw it, and having a different posture, which made it difficult to gauge the weight and height. One of the trio shouted, and the thing stood up, prompting the 3 friends to, once again, drive off, although without being pursued this time. Not learning a single goddamn thing, the group decided to investigate once again, just to make sure they weren't imagining things. They once again...
Bring a camera at this point. What the fuck?
I know.
Check-offs.
They once again returned to the crouching furred figure, and John went to grab his flashlight. I assume they were out of the car at this point. But by the time he had grabbed it, the other 2 friends reported that the creature had run off when he went back to his car to grab it. That's when they heard the barks from behind the school. Although these weren't just any ordinary dog noises, they seemed to be coming from about 4 or 5 different animals, and they sounded like a pack of dogs fighting over a fresh kill. While the group was at this point back in their car, they didn't drive off right away this time. They were frozen there for a full minute. Until one of the members, Aubrey, claimed that she saw something move behind the car, and this was the last investigation that John Lyons would make. He didn't die, he just got scared. And then
I would prefer it if he died.
I know, it's like, oh, okay.
Horribly.
That was...
Like, just like a grisly murder. After that point would have made this story much more satisfying.
Murders don't get reported when they're pulled off correctly.
Huh.
Dun dun!
Da-da-da-da. Yeah, that's the funny thing. Somebody told me, it's like, yeah, the Dogman doesn't attack people in the reportings. He only attacks the ones that don't come back. Enter Monster Quest, featuring Linda Godfrey. They show up to Reed City, interview Johns, have an aforementioned motion sensor incident to top off the odd sighting out of the corner of people's eyes, And here's the icing to the cake. Linda Godfrey herself brought a camera because she's smarter than people, and attempted to take pictures of things. Ideally the Dogman, but inevitably nothing more than the odd obscure shape in the background and large dog prints that the group found larger than a dog. However, Godfrey left her camera behind her in the van at one point, and according to her, was in full view of all of the cameramen and witnesses in an area where only one car drove by in the hours that they were there. Despite all this, when they were around 100 feet away from the van, Godfrey heard a wet dog sound in the direction of it, and when she arrived, her camera had been completely stolen. It was never found.
Dog sound?
What is a wet dog sound?
I have an answer, but I don't think that's what Godfrey intended.
That works a lot better if you just reduce it to what God intended. I want to point that out.
What is the difference?
Miss Godfrey, sexual powerhouse, religious icon.
I love like a great story because like the werewolves pack thing writes itself. Like they're just coming back and be like, "Who are these fuckers who keep coming over here?" And then like they're having an argument. It's like, what are we supposed to do about these fucks?
Eat them.
Should we chase
Eat
them?
them, Jim.
Like they saw us, but they don't get a fucking picture. They're stupid.
Todd, just eat them.
If anybody brings a camera, we'll steal that.
Yeah. I don't buy it broke into the car and stole the camera.
She heard wet.
Sheer wet dog sounds.
Oh my god, I want to play this in like Werewolf the Apocalypse. Because this feels like a werewolf role-playing game. Can you sneak up in werewolf form to the cars of this paranormal like reports show?
That'd be so good.
If you're a werewolf, why are you making a wet dog? I like whatever that is. How is it relevant to breaking into a car?
Maybe you fell into like a fucking river or something on the way.
Just make wet dog.
I can imagine bloody dog, but then there'd be dog blood, and they'd be like, ooh, check out this blood. Except, no, there wasn't any blood. Because this dog is apparently good at opening car doors if they're squishy and moist.
Some dogs could open car doors.
I just had a thought. I think the book said sound, and I'm gonna not look it up. There is the potential that I wrote sound in the document, and I meant to say smell.
A wet dog smell would make a lot more sense.
So much more sense.
But a wet dog sound is a lot more fun.
I'm stupid. Either way, Linda Godfrey
You're not
is
stupid,
cool.
you're just half-wit.
Aw.
Coffee
half of a
roasters.
wit.
Oh no, I'm
are you
reading
looking
your
at the
laptop.
stickers on the back of my laptop?
Yeah.
I stole that from a coffee shop. I think I was supposed to buy it, but I already had it in
Also,
my
see,
pocket.
I am useless and gay sticker on your thing there.
Classic.
Right. That's a good one.
There's some hoaxes. Hard shift. Someone got a video of the Dogman, except that's a lie, because it was a moderately famous hoax that circulated around 2006 and was debunked in 2009 when the film's creator, Mark Agrusa, came onto Monster Quest to confess, a season later, weirdly. Nonetheless, the famous Gable film was created, and the footage was claimed to be from the 70s and detailed a family on a skiing trip up until the last vaguely 10 seconds in the frame where Dogman chases the cameraman, cutting the black. This Dogman, however, was a man in a ghillie suit, and a second film was made, but since the first one was already debunked, no one cared. Argusa also went on with Steve Cook to aid in the publicity of the song and the legend in general, which is kind of fun. I did see one fun quote from Steve Cook. I just felt like repeating it. Steve Cook voice. I'm tremendously skeptic, because I've sort of seen the way folklore becomes built from the creation of this song to what it's turned into. But I do believe people who think they saw something really did see something. I also think that the Dogman provides them with an avenue to explain what they couldn't explain for themselves. That's cute. I liked it. There was also a 911 call detailing a Dogman sighting in Troy, Michigan in 2006, but it's also a hoax, and I could find zero information on it. Besides like a blurb in a Wikipedia article. Or not that, like a different website. But yeah, that's the background. Well, not the background, but it's like a good chunk of the story. I have a couple odd other sightings here and there, but before I say the odd other sightings that I thought were interesting, any thoughts at all so far?
I'm kind of
dog
saying my
sounds.
thoughts. Okay, come out.
Wet
dog
dog sounds.
Wet dog sounds. Is that the name of the That's gonna be the name of the episode. I'm just
Wet
like,
dog sounds.
Wet dog sounds.
That's probably the right
That
choice.
Oh yeah, I finished a beer.
Wet dog sounds. The Michigan Dogman story. The Michigan Dogman Olympic tale.
The Michigan Dogman saga.
Or I had one where they're like
Olympic
a
saga.
6'9", 200-pound werewolf. I'm like, is that a stick?
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah, you're right. That's like...
That sounds like one of those werewolves from Fable, like the super gangly, like stick-like ones with overly long limbs.
Well, they probably haven't like eaten. They kept trying to
Slender
find
Man.
the people, but they couldn't catch up to the car, so they're hungry.
The only Dogman sightings that you don't hear about are the ones where they don't come back.
Exactly. Or I guess some of them starve to death sometimes. That's why they're 200 pounds.
That's so sad.
They starved to death. Why haven't we recovered a body?
Alexa, play Despacito.
I'm gonna burp, but I can't do it.
Can't do
It's like I'm fighting a sneeze, but like it's a burp. And it feels just as uncomfortable.
it. Yeah. There it goes.
That was violent.
You're violent.
I'm actually
gay.
correct.
But he's very non-violent.
I'm very non-violent, but I am violently gay. Let's do some more stories. We're back in Reed City, but this time in November 2007. We have Sam, a 20-year-old hunter, and his two friends. They were all hunting, vaguely in different stands, until 4:30 came around. And
vaguely. Okay, no, I understand, like a forest stand.
Yeah.
Not like a JoJo,
And they were like
not like a JoJo
Camouflage stand.
No,
That would be pretty great, actually.
that,
American JoJo hunters.
no, there was vampires in it. I'm thinking
That's
about
true.
it.
I don't
They
think
had
they
fucking
have
vampires in it for 8 years, but like
stand. No one has a werewolf stand either.
no one has a werewolf stand. They should just do it. Araki, if you listen to this podcast
I don't think.
before Linda Godfrey,
Power Wolf, go!
Well, I think there might have been a power wolf.
Wait,
or something.
really? They do have Power Wolf?
Maybe.
Okay.
there was like
Powerwolf is like
there's
a
dogs.
Powerwolf
Yeah,
is legit.
there are
metal.
dogs in JoJo. That is true.
It's just a lot of
Not
dogs.
for very long.
Not
but-
for very long.
Is there a dog guy? I would kind of like if there's.
Oh, there's a
it's
dog with a
just-
stand.
It's just every time a dog shows up in JoJo, it dies horribly.
Very quickly
Oh,
too.
no. That's horrible.
There's one exception.
And that's spoilers. We're hunting now though.
Alright.
Not Okay, so they're in vaguely indifferent stands, hunting stands, until 4:30 came around and dusk approached, signifying that leaving before dark would be a smart idea. That's when the sounds of birds and insects completely stopped. Time passed, and the silence was broken by 3 deer running right past him. Wait,
Sorry, it's just like, when does time not pass? Time didn't pass.
Also, why would the Dogman shut up local insects and stuff?
who knows?
Supernatural.
I think it's
Spoopy things
spooky.
always do that, yeah.
Spoopy.
Time passed. Deer ran through thing, but then they were followed by a foul mothball-esque smell. That's when he appeared. A hulking, hunched-over, yellow-eyed, 2-legged dogman who broke down on all fours and chased the deer. Sam stayed put until his friends arrived, who proceeded to laugh at him when he told them his story, until they saw the tracks. Broader than a normal dog's by far, and with 1 less toe than a bear. Nevertheless, they drive home. Perhaps Sam chalked it up to me skipping a whole page and having to find my way back to where I was. Oh my god, the momentum. We drive home. They drive back to the cabin. They are staying there for a week. Perhaps Sam chalked it up to fantasy, though, because the hunters came back the next day. Although Sam stayed behind until the sun was higher, and was armed more heavily this time. The day was uneventful, until around 5 p.m., when Sam heard shooting 100 feet away, followed by screaming in his walkie-talkie. His friend had found something. His friend described exactly the same dogman that Sam had described, and thankfully, the dogman ran away. Then the trio decided to hunt a 3rd day, where nothing happened. But then they decided to hunt a 4th day. And didn't even need to wait before noon when the upright canid ran into a well-lit clearing, stared at the direction of the 3 hunters, and started grinning. Sam's friend aimed a gun at it, though, and it ran off right away, making a growling, hissing noise. And an hour later, the 3rd friend radioed in and said, you guys, are you in a werewolf suit at my blind? Because it's not funny. 5 shots immediately followed. That's the way it was written in the book, exactly, and I can't top it.
Okay, I've got like 3 notes. One, when they say it smelled of mothballs, I'm thinking it's just like the oldest grandpa werewolf just walking around.
Grandpappy Lou.
It's
Just
just like
back in my day.
it's like an 8-year-old dude when he's not a werewolf, but then he's a werewolf.
Back in my day, these kids didn't know about no dang founded civil. And
Just mothball sticking to his fur still.
didn't have no TikTok or Zoom to record you with.
It'd be like the super British Warcraft werewolves.
Okay, that's kind of cute. I like that. Oh yeah,
British,
I played that game.
That's great. They're just so British.
It's just so British. It's in the middle of Undead Town for no reason. The story doesn't end there though, because they didn't find their friend yet.
Oh,
but
okay.
they're going.
I thought you know the story.
They're going to.
Sorry, comments.
The other 2 hunters raced to their truck and met their third friend, claw marks in his gun stock. Apparently, the creature
What?
claw marks in his gun stock. He scratched his gun.
Oh, fuck you.
Apparently, the creature rushed him, causing him to accidentally shoot at nothing in particular, to which the noise scared the creature off, and the third friend tried shooting at it 4 times, missing.
Okay.
The trio then returned to their cabin to find paw prints all around it, and many, many claw marks around the doors and windows, like he had tried to get in. They quickly packed up, got in their truck, and left, abandoning their blinds. On the way out, something large rammed the back of their truck, but nobody was able to see what it was. They had gotten away, safely, and the DNR did not believe their story whatsoever.
Yeah.
Did they have any pictures of, like, the claw marks and stuff?
You'll never guess. They didn't.
I feel like that's just not going to be an excuse going forward.
Yeah,
It's
just
like
assume
everyone,
no
it's like,
pictures
did
are
you bring your
taken.
phone with you? It's just like, no. What the fuck were you doing?
Wasn't this in 2007? I
Yeah.
remember phones in 2007. You didn't have a
I don't
good
know,
camera.
Yeah, like as I said, going forward, it's just not going to be an excuse. It's like, oh,
I didn't
okay.
even
gonna
have
be
a
a
cell
given.
phone in 2007. I had to wait till 2008.
Plus, they're in the woods. Who's gonna bring their phone to the woods? I think that's the
Everyone-
thing I
everyone's
do.
gonna bring their
That
phone
phone
to the
I don't
woods
bring
now.
my phone to the woods, and I'm the only person that does that.
I remember that phone.
Like a flip phone?
Yeah, it was one that flipped like open like a normal flip phone, but also flipped open into like a wide like text writer style, and you're like
Yeah,
all your
I
little phone buttons
Oh.
were like were letters for a keyboard. You had like a physical keyboard.
That's really cool.
It was amazing, and I
love
kind of wish that they still had those on real phones. Except, why would you do that now when you can just have a giant screen to do everything for you?
Did you kind of do that with laptops now? Like the ones where they like flip it. Oh, it's a tablet. Oh, now it's a laptop.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Except it was like the flip phone could open up like long ways, but this one had like a dual hinge,
Okay.
where it could also open up like this.
Straight, like horizontally.
Yeah, and this gesture that the viewers at home can't see out of this edited
why I'm
out
using
portion
adjectives.
Okay,
of
Grandpa.
this thing.
That's why I'm using adjectives.
Okay, Grandpa.
I like
Back
it.
in my day, you lousy kids would listen and give me my what's worth.
I almost just witnessed a tragedy. That was a good
Oh,
catch.
please don't spill alcohol. on Pepsi
Grandpappy's
tonight.
been doing this for a hot damn minute. I've dropped fewer shit than you've caught in your life, boy. I dropped more hints than you caught, boy. Drop more hints than you've caught in your life.
Oh, I thought you said hands.
Hints.
I said hits, and I was like, has he smoked more? I don't know.
I
We're
mean,
high in the 70s and 60s is when hippies were a thing, not the 70s. We got another story.
they were high in the 80s too, just not on weed.
Oh yeah, that's when they got cool, in my opinion. Kidding. I mean, don't not do drugs, but
You
like
can't spell cool without cocaine.
this podcast is pro cocaine.
Is it really? What?
I think I said that before, but anyway, this podcast is pro drugs. Next story: Sparta, Michigan, 1987. Sparta. This is Sparta, and that's a town right outside of Grand Rapids in the southeast of Michigan.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is that where the Michigan Spartans are?
No, they're in Lansing, which is actually only an hour and some change away. So
Okay, it feels like a missed opportunity if you're asking me.
yeah, maybe they are the Spartans, but it's like we're talking about a town of I don't know big numbers, so this is really wrong, and I'm gonna just accept that. But maybe 5,000 people. And I don't know if what you're picturing is the same thing I'm picturing.
You've already told me that it's not that you're not a reliable narrator, so I don't know what to imagine. 5,000 people is not very many.
Probably like 8. Okay. Like more than that then. It's 3 friends are in a cabin camping when 2 of the friends decide to go to town.
Ooh, I like this porn.
Wait, but like only one of them's left. Oh, no, that's the one that doesn't see the Dogman. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Spoilers.
I thought the other 2 walked in on the Dogman.
Oh, I'll let you know what they do.
Okay, sorry.
They went out for dinner and then came back during the night, and weirdly found themselves on a new rural road on the way back that they hadn't been on before. Suddenly they see him. Old you know who, except Grapefruit this time. As they passed it, it raised its hands and growled violently.
Wait, is this still part of the same story?
No, different one.
Okay.
Before giving chase to the car a bit. The story almost ends there, but not quite. When the 2 finally ditched the Dogman, they then proceeded to pass a sign saying, "Welcome to Sparta," a town in which they had already driven through, and were now on the complete other side of. The Dogman had apparently teleported them, or maybe they panicked and got lost, but I've been through Sparta, and it takes a good 15 minutes to get through, or something. So that seems like a stretch to me. The other weird thing about the story, though, is that I don't think Linda Godfrey ever covers it, so who's to say if it's real? So that's the only person I trust. That's the teleporting one. That's a short
I
one.
trust Linda to not do this podcast.
Linda, don't hear that. Cutting it. Linda, be on the pod.
I'm sorry.
You're good. Dude, Linda Godfrey is quite literally like an hour away from us right now. We could go to her house.
You want to go to her house?
I want to go to her house.
I don't want a restraining order right now.
Well, no,
Thank
we
you.
can say we're friends. Over work.
I don't want a restraining order.
Yeah,
That's good. I'm good.
Second to the last story. And this one details a man who claims that the Dogman has been around since he was a young child and continued to follow him to this day.
Oh, it's like an SCP.
Yeah.
Those the friendly dog app one.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. I'm getting SPCPs and creepypasta confused. And I thought you were gonna say Smile Dog for a second.
No,
Completely
I mean,
different.
SCPs are sometimes creepypasta, but
They it's a little
no, there's
Venn
an
diagram.
SCP where there's like there's an app you can download on your phone, and it's just this dog
Aw.
creature thingy with like a skeleton face or something. It doesn't really do anything; it just kind of follows you around. But some people get freaked out by it because you don't really see, like, yeah. I think
like
it's
that.
like you start off only being able to see it in the reflections and things like that. Then it gets close and things. It doesn't really do anything to you. It's just creepy.
What's the app?
It's like MalOS or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Soft bread.
we're in. Oh, you're looking at a package.
Well, because I read it from the back and I'm like, what the fuck is this script?
This is an auditory medium. You can't just say things you see.
Soft bread.
I respect it though. I don't think I've eaten Uncrustables for a sec, but I do kind of miss them.
Do you want one?
Oh
just-
no,
you
I've
just
been.
make a
I just
peanut
ate
butter-
like 5
I don't see the
pizzas.
point. You could just make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Or you could go to the fridge and it's right there.
It takes 2 minutes.
As
It
opposed
takes
to,
2 seconds.
this is time I'm willing to shave off for a PB and J.
Yeah, like, I didn't gain a lot from my PB&J making.
We're in Alto and also Lowell, more towns outside of Grand Rapids, except for on the southeast side of the city now. Our protagonist, who didn't give us his name, is in elementary school. It's
Aw.
recess, 10 in the morning. He's
Baby.
playing. He's a little bad. He's playing war with his friends when he decides to run into the woods adjacent to the playground in order to hide and then also cheat at the game.
What a fucking dick.
Oh yeah, I'll
Fuck
say
that
it.
kid.
That's why I put that note in there. He's a
Fuck
cheater.
these kids.
Feeling uneasy and almost like he was being watched, the protagonist nonetheless makes his way deeper into the woods to a river by some train tracks. That's when he heard a huge splash and witnessed a dark-furred dogman bolt into the woods, switching between 2 and 4 legs to run, only to disappear behind a tree line. At this point, our protagonist, a child, runs straight home and to his bed, and then never tells the soul about what he saw because he didn't want to be bullied.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's
He-
actually
Alright,
pretty
I can buy
reasonable.
that.
That's the most believable part of this
I
story.
know. It's
Oh, yeah.
like everyone's not bringing cameras and things. It's just
Yeah,
like,
this is a little kid. He's like, fuck around. I don't want to get bullied.
Yeah.
He describes it as an 8-ish foot tall, 300-pound, blue-eyed this time, and kind of like a timber wolf, but upright and with longer legs. It almost kind of looked like the werewolves from The Howling, according to him, a movie I've never seen. This dogman, however, seemed to not want to be seen whatsoever and bolted away as soon as it could. It's 2008 now. Our hero is 33, still living outside of Lowell, working as a personal trainer. This story takes place in the winter, at night.
Is this the same guy?
Yes.
Okay.
The hero's family is sound... the hero? I'm gonna stick with it. The hero's family is sound asleep, and that's when he hears a thud on the roof, then scraping. Almost stepping sounds walking around.
It's Santa.
Going on for a minute.
Santa Paws.
His family was huddled in the hallway, obviously scared.
Of Santa?
Of Santa.
Santa Paws.
Until the protagonist grabs a machete, he didn't own guns, and goes out to investigate. I think that's
this guy even more.
Yeah, he just got his machete.
No guns.
I got a machete and no guns.
He is then hit with the exact same feeling he had when he was young, when he saw the Dogman, and he remembers that distinctly. He had a newly reawoken memory situation come back. He didn't, block the memory or anything, but, he all of a sudden just remembered it suddenly and went outside to investigate. He sneaks outside, quietly. The snowy air is silent, and that's when the blue-eyed Dogman peeks from on top of the roof, staring right at him. This exact same creature from 20-ish years ago. I didn't do the math. Then, the Dogman leaps 30 feet from the roof and bolts on all fours to the tree line, only to stand upright completely, no hunch whatsoever, and stare directly at the protagonist for a full minute. This time, though, instead of being afraid, our hero has a family now to worry about. He runs fully at the Dogman, machete in hand, shouting and screaming angrily. The Dogman just stared at him, almost grinning now at this point. 30 feet away from the canid now, the protagonist hears a clear, audible, deep voice from inside of his head saying only one word. Don't. This stops our hero dead in his tracks, and he is overwhelmed by a supreme, weird sense of calm. He drops his machete and backs away deliberately, despite him being close enough for the creature to easily maim and kill him. Instead, the Dogman turns and calmly walks into the woods, disappearing. The serene calm follows our hero until he gets into his house, at which point he announced, "It's gone, girls!" to his girlfriend and their 2 daughters. He told the 3 of them that it was just a wild animal, not wishing to alarm them. But then, a month later, his girlfriend calls while he's out shopping, claiming to see an unusually large Rottweiler or something, obviously scared, as none of the neighbors had such a dog. He bolts home and comforts her, and at that point confides in what they saw a month prior. After he shared a story with Godfrey in 2018, I don't think he ever had an encounter again, because that's a degree of 10 years. But it's been almost 20 years at this point, so the guy should watch out.
He had a guardian werewolf his whole life and didn't know about it.
Yeah, he probably still has it. If it's happening in 20-year point degree
I think
things,
I've unraveled the mystery. Okay.
Yes.
Dogman.
Dogman.
Is dog and man.
Oh, yeah.
What's dog spelled backwards?
Godfrey.
Godfrey. Godman.
Godnam.
No, it's Godman. So
Godman.
it's not the Dogman, it's the Godman. And the Godman teams up with the
God, that sounds like
Godfrey
the lamest superhero.
to create
God, man. He's just...
It's Bible Man.
By the power of Christ compels
I know.
you.
You guys remember Bible Man?
Bible Man?
Bible Man.
No.
Okay, you guys have to look up Bible Man now.
Okay.
It's exactly what you think it is.
I'm imagining now Bibliotechna, which is like Bibliotechna, which could be like
a library, a bookstore.
No. Bibliotechna. So it's like a tech-themed Bible-themed tech superhero. Bibliotechna.
Okay.
Bibliotech is a bookstore in French.
So I want to figure out a way to tie the two. Bibliotechna. This is where the magic happens. In the writer's room. Sorry, this isn't the show that we're writing for, though.
This is the show we're going to write.
I want to write the show about the guardian werewolf. That guy sounds
with
cool.
Linda Godfrey?
Oh, Linda Godfrey's going to be on that one, whether she likes it or not. I'm not going to kidnap Linda Godfrey. I want everybody to know I'm not talking to witches, and she doesn't live in a nunnery.
You talk to a witch, am I talking to a werewolf?
As a callback to the
You do more than talk to a werewolf.
Oh,
It'll turn you into a werewolf.
Oh.
So you could rescue
why did you go to witches?
from a nunnery.
God, would you be a Twinkie werewolf?
You'd be the
I feel like I'd have body
you'd be
hair.
the 200-pound, 6'9" one.
It's already way taller than I am.
It's okay, you get bigger when you're a werewolf.
Just stretch. It's like the taffy kid from Willy Wonka. Alright, so here we are at the near end of the podcast. I just wanted to hit you all with some information first. Before we get to opinions and then also my story, your hand is raised.
Can I pee and stuff real quick and pause it?
Yeah, we can pause. Go.
You have another shot of whiskey?
We're good. This episode is half the length of the last one, so we can fuck around as much as we want.
Okay.
I have to finish this beer though. What were we talking about?
I don't remember. Whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't want another shot.
I was gonna talk about opinions of the Dogman. I wanted to do like a round table to be like, what do you guys think?
Was there one last story? No.
Oh, the last story I'll get to. Don't you worry.
I'm giving you that.
Thank you. I'll do it right now.
Finishing that Jameson. All right, you're just killing it.
No, give it to for a sec.
Oh, I'll do it in a sec. I'm a big baby.
No, he got too drunk last time.
You're my bitch.
No, I didn't get too drunk. I had to be the mom.
For Hamilton?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he got too drunk.
No, that one I got too drunk.
Wait, were you at Hamilton?
No, I did a Hamilton drinking game.
Yeah.
And I will show you it afterwards. And you will see what my New Year's was all about. Shouts to Zuma the Puma for murdering me.
He never threw away his shot.
Oh, I never threw away a shot.
Do not throw
You don't have to take a shot for that. You only have to sip.
That would be terrible.
But you do have to sip.
Yeah. If you had to take a whole drink every time they said, I'm not going to throw away my shot, you'd be dead.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. You know, it's like the first three songs alone fucking killed me.
You could probably exclude the throwing away my shot song from that challenge and be safe about it.
No. You would not be
Just
able
take small sips.
I'll show you that game. Everybody,
You sip during the song.
If you sip every time they say I'm not throwing away a shot, you can survive it.
Future Forsetti, when you edit this, edit a bit in where you say the URL of the website that'll take you to the picture of the drinking game for the audience to look at so they can see just exactly how I died on New Year's 2021. Future Forsetti here. I don't want to do that. Your hand is raised.
Country. What if you just had to take a drink every time the word country was said?
They say nation more, I think.
I feel like they say country enough for you to not have a fun time.
This could be a competitive drinking game.
That music.
All right, honey, you drink every time they say nation, and I drink every time they say country.
Should be the other way around.
I'll take a sip every time it says shot.
It's funnier this way.
Okay.
It's fine. I'll do it that way too. Baby, you don't want to stand by your words.
Fight for you.
Dogman. I think I'm gonna give you some more pieces of information. We'll do a little round table talk about the Dogman, and then I'll tell the last story. No, I'm saving it for the very end.
Saving it.
So the thing I wanted to say, I think I said it already. Bears live in Michigan Lower Peninsula, not wolves anymore.
Well, wolves aren't known for standing up on 2 feet.
No, they are not. Also, there's another story called the Witchy Wolves near Saginaw, Michigan, but that's a story that involves mostly ghost-like wolves on all fours, and I don't remember the details, so I'm not going to share it.
Saginaw. I don't know anything about Saginaw.
Saginaw is on the other side of Michigan.
Okay, is there? Okay.
Yes.
So in the one story, the guy's gun stock was all clawed up, right?
Yeah.
What happened to the gun?
I'm assuming he either left it behind or he just fucking has it still. I don't know.
If he has it, let's see some evidence.
Y'all just throw away the gun.
You don't throw that shit away.
Maybe there is a picture that got sent, but this is a story I got from the book, and the book doesn't have like many pictures into it, so maybe Linda Godfrey's sitting on it. She hasn't published the picture.
Ooh, that's a good point. Linda Godfrey needs to be on this fucking podcast.
He got drastically more drunk in the last 20 minutes.
We had a 20-minute break. But that's okay, because I think I'm starting to feel it too, Mr. Krabs.
He just cuts away and comes back, and he's just so much more drunk.
Now, I am capable of fully loquacious discourse at this moment, no matter how perched my head is upon this bottle of empty Jameson.
That combination of words turned me from drunk to hungover immediately.
It really is, perched on a bottle of empty Jameson. It's a big bottle, too.
It's a comfortable bottle.
Like a really friggin' big bottle.
Like, okay, I'm going to say this. The Jameson 1.75 milliliter gets an A+ for cuddleability. Also, I will say that I'm not the one who consumed
Why did you grab a dagger?
Oh, I don't know.
Why did you say I don't know?
Because I don't know. I just wanted to hold it.
For those listening at home, he has grabbed the replica dagger from the famous movie The Hobbit.
Do you remember
known
what
as Stinger?
Oh, okay, yeah, there we go.
Why?
Do not toy with me.
Why do you have
Middle.
one?
You're not even a Middle Earthling. You're just an
dagger.
Earthling.
But we're not sober.
It's probably more
Too
like a
old
dirt.
with me, a son of Mithras.
We're not sober. You
not a
have
real-
a blade.
I'm not a real fan. I didn't even read the Silmarillion.
I haven't read a single book. I just saw the movies, but I'm gonna do it eventually.
Don't sit on that knife.
Does anybody have any?
Sit on my replica sword. Also, this thing is blunt as heck. Seriously, just
Okay.
like, take it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's like if it's a replica, anything. Oh my god, I can just. I'm
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
no, be careful of the
Yeah,
tip.
just don't stab yourself with the tip. The tip can actually
Be careful with
Okay,
the tip.
okay.
Poke the tip, but be careful about it.
Oh, I see the vibe.
Yeah, it's not like a sharp tip, but it's sharp enough that you can stab yourself with it.
I'm gonna
You
hand
can-
it
yeah.
to you handle first, or
You can
just
just
grab the
possibly-
blade.
It's that.
Yeah.
Very dull.
You could possibly kill a man with this.
I mean, you can kill a man with
You
a
can
lot
kill
of
a man-
things.
You can kill a man with this. It'd be easier to kill a man the other way, honestly.
Oh no, I poked myself with it.
To what? Wait, are you like bleeding?
No, I just have like a little dot there.
Okay.
Okay, for those who
I
have
don't
a
know,
dot.
I feel sympathetic. We got a blade
I
out.
popped some capillaries.
you can actually. It's actually easy
Ooh.
to do something called the murder stroke, which is objectively the coolest name for a sword technique.
He's holding the sword by the
You hold it-
dagger.
yeah, you hold it by the blade, and then you smack someone
With
with like
both hands.
with the hilts, basically.
Okay.
Because this.
Do you wear
little part
like
that sticks out.
do you wear like gloves?
I mean, you don't have to.
Or you stab your hand?
You don't
Depends on
have
how
to.
sharp your sword usually isn't all that sharp.
Okay, I just feel like it isn't automatically blunt if you're gonna be going to war.
Yeah,
with
no, I
it.
mean like they had armor and stuff, so they had
Okay,
like gloves most
that
of the
checks
time.
out.
But you don't
you've
have
seen,
to.
yeah, if you've seen like our little replica pistol, like the heavy metal stock of the time is super common because it was also used as a motherfucking club. So
could
you made
definitely-
that
I'm
shit
about
out
the
of
club.
solid
You could
wood.
definitely bludgeon someone to
and
death on the
metal.
other end of this.
You know I'm all about the club.
Let me feel it.
It's heavy enough.
And now I'm just gonna. We're all playing with the dagger, not sober, but I'm gonna let it happen. Anybody
it's
have any
mostly
Dogman
like-
opinions?
You know, okay, so they always say the dogman is grinning.
Okay,
but I'm like,
all right.
Yeah.
And my dog was always grinning
All right,
because it's a
all right.
dog.
Hush! I need your attention. All right,
I
all
was
right.
talking about the
Let's set up our
Dogman.
beers as a thing that we can like hit.
No.
It's our little buzzer.
I
It's
don't
our
think I
little
heard this.
buzzer.
Oh, okay, okay.
Are y'all on board for the buzzer? And we all hit it at the same time.
Okay,
Not
all right,
hard, but and say whether or not we think that the Dogman is true.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And then we go
Wait.
around in a circle and each say what we think about it.
I mean,
How does that sound?
I would be down for that, but I have a personal story. So
Yeah.
you know my opinion.
you know my opinion.
You didn't have to spoil it right before the segment, Versetti.
All right.
Okay. My hand's on the buzzer.
I'm drunk
Okay,
enough to
okay.
forget.
This is a visual thing.
Okay, this
On
is
an
what translate
auditory
well to a
medium.
podcast.
This is for us too.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
All right. 3, 2.
Pause. Are we hitting it if we believe in it or not?
No. You hit it and
I
say
actually
what
don't
you
understand.
think.
But anyway,
Do
I'm
like
gonna do it.
3.
or real or not, or real or fake. How about that?
Okay.
Real if you think it's real, fake if you think it's fake.
Cool.
3,
2,
2, 1.
1.
Real.
Fake.
Thank God.
Fake.
It's so real.
I mean, I'm sure people saw something. I don't think people are just like. I don't think literally everyone made up a story
Okay,
just to make
Steve
up a story.
Cook.
But I don't think there's any such thing as a dog man.
I
Cool as it
can
would be.
respect it.
There's something in them there woods.
I do also.
I'm going to choose to believe in a world of magic and whimsy.
Yay.
And we are going to go ahead and say that, like,
Talking real.
as seen by the people of
The what?
the
Are we talking about like
Indian nations or the great
Indigenous
American
people?
indigenous nations.
You're good. I can edit things.
No,
Indigenous people.
don't edit it.
The
My
Native
mistakes are live,
Americans.
and hopefully they can
I'm
see that I'm
still-
just a bumbling, good, well-meaning person who may or may not be pale.
May or may not be pale. You're pretty pale.
Shut up.
I think.
You man.
Anyway,
I go out in the sun more than you do.
anyway, do you all want to know?
Used to.
Do you all want to know why I
It's
believe in
me.
the Dogman?
You are asking for it.
Do you all?
Shane.
Do you all want to
Literally
know?
asking.
What are you masturbating the dagger?
Maybe? I don't
You
know.
are. You're just fully masturbating
Unconsciously
the
doing
dagger.
this. Just touching the blade.
You're like a fully. I'm not, because I'm in
It's
chastity,
penis
but like.
envy. It's he's also in chastity. Come
Okay,
on.
but
Exactly. He wishes this was his dick. He's stroking it. Because-
hey, I'm gonna potentially edit this out. We're recording a podcast. Do you want to say hi, or do you want to just be edited out?
I just feel like the feeling of smooth metal.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry to wake you up, kitty.
Let's
My
play Smash.
apologies.
We're all drunk.
We have to finish this.
Alright, let's finish
God,
this
I'm
first.
getting PTSD.
Alright, let's finish this first. Let's finish this first.
From last month.
Finish podcast. Go.
You're
Finish.
You're
finish
great,
podcast.
kitty. This Stan can't. He's cool. Shouts.
The cat. You scared the cat away.
It's because we're
monster.
we're fucking monsters.
Do you hear a weird sound on the podcast?
He's
That's me.
fucking fapping the dagger.
That's smacking
Wow.
it. I'll
I'm just gonna
spank
take
you
like
with
a
a dagger.
poop break and then you come back and it's not usable. I am sorry, future Persetti.
I'm getting
I am
struck with a
sorry for
dagger.
this.
Wait, stand up.
Future
Why? What are you
Persetti,
gonna do? Why do you want me to
He's gonna
stand
hit
up?
your butt.
I'm gonna get penetrated.
No,
Hit with
you're
the
just
other
gonna
end.
get-
Why are you gonna penetrate me with either end?
You're just gonna get
Make fun of the
flagellated.
dagger.
I'm not
It's
making
a
fun
whole
of it.
different school of pain.
I'm not making fun of the dagger. I'm just making a point to point out that we're both not sober and we're playing with the dagger.
point the knife the point away from anyone.
And then
As
shove
I
it up
stumble
my
through.
ass.
Also,
No, stand up for a second.
Why am I standing
if the
up?
dagger's a penis in this
Because
mouth,
I
Sting
ordered
is a
you to.
terrible name for it.
Oh, I'm getting spanked with it.
Sting is a terrible name for it. I don't think anyone wants to call their
I'm
penis
about to get
Sting.
fucking stung by it because I'm getting. Oh my god! Please don't stab me.
Please don't stab the wall either.
Ow! I don't. That didn't hurt. I'm just paraphrasing. For all you audiophiles, I'm getting spanked with a dagger.
Okay, here. We can do it more safely.
Why is there more than one? This is another dagger. Why would there be more than one dagger at play?
I'm putting this down now.
This one's a stabbing dagger.
So, at the beginning of the podcast, I mentioned that we were more put together than last month, and I resent that.
Well, it's true until 20
No,
minutes
we
ago.
were
Yeah,
more
sure, until
put
20 minutes
together.
ago.
That's an
And then the great poop break of destiny. We talked about sailors too. Poop deck is a natural mistake.
I'm too sober and I'm
Alright,
not
let's-
sober.
Wait, you're too sober and you're not sober, or I'm not sober?
No, I'm too sober enough for this, and I'm not sober.
Also, I want there to be packs of werewolves who just mess with people.
Yeah, that would be
That'd
funny.
be great. I would
Oh
love
my
that.
god, prankster werewolf.
If they are real, they're pranksters, and
Okay,
they're
They're
real.
just messing with
Okay,
people. It's great.
okay. So the lore of werewolf apocalypse.
Yeah.
These are just fucking.
Bonars.
Not bonars. This isn't inner city. This is rural country, baby.
Michigan.
And what does that mean?
It could be lots of things.
Like Michigan. I forgot all of them.
Pretty
Like-
much most of the other werewolf packs.
Literally, yeah. Most of the other werewolf
It's like
packs.
not the red talons. Probably not the Wendigo.
No. There's a vampire
Wendigo.
faction that is into it too. What is that vampire
I
faction?
don't remember. Does this begin with a G?
I think
I feel like it begins
I
with a
almost
G.
played this game, and I never played this game.
It was Vampire the Masquerade and
Feel like it begins with a G.
Werewolf the Apocalypse are related. And Werewolf the Apocalypse has lots of werewolves. And we're talking about werewolves.
Yeah.
And Vampire the Masquerade has one faction that's into like being in the rural like
Pretty sure that begins
areas.
with a G.
Godfrey.
Not Godfrey.
Not God.
I wanted
It
to say
could be
Gargamel.
derived-
I wanted to say Gargamel.
The Smurfs.
Gargelia or Gargalian? Gargalian?
Elder Gargaroth.
Gargamel.
Do you want to hear my story?
Yes, go for it. Tell your story.
I want to find out what the name of these vampires are.
He could do that while presenting telling his story.
Yeah. So all of the rails, we're off them. I'm bound now.
All right.
I'm a train.
Getting back on topic.
What if I told you all that? I saw the Dogman myself.
Then I would say you've already told me this.
Gangrel.
Gangrel. Oh, like from fucking Beowulf?
No.
Grendel.
That's Grendel, yeah.
Oh.
Nomads with an affinity for animals. They can morph out claws and
Okay.
Wow, I'm drunk.
That's
yes,
okay.
I could tell.
You actually haven't listened to last month's episode, and you're at the same level, so it's still publishable material.
Go.
What if I told you I saw the Dogman? Well, in college.
Would you just try to climb up on the chair? I
was
should do that right now.
I need energy.
Okay.
So
coffee, stat,
coffee liqueur.
go
like
well.
in the.
We have
Wait,
no,
Kahlua.
I can't.
No, it's peach
I-
schnapps.
No, we don't have Kahlua.
That's
I
peach
wish
schnapps.
we
I
had
think that's peach
Kahlua.
schnapps.
I can't drink Kahlua anymore. That's what I died at the Hamilton
Oh
drinking
yeah,
game.
that's right.
I mean, I probably still can. I'm just like...
Just snort some cocoa. Not cocaine, cocoa.
No, we're pro cocaine. We're pro
You want some
cocaine.
maraschino
I
cherry
don't-
liqueur?
Oh my god, I do. What? Oh, that sounds so good.
I actually don't. I'm a little. Okay, give me a little bit. I'm a little.
Yeah, what's
just
a little
tiny
sampy?
I'll
bit.
give you a little
A
more.
little sampy.
No. It's all I need. It's all I need. It's all I need. It's all I need.
It's just, we're tasty. Okay, I'll take a little bit more because I'm not afraid.
You're not a
That was-
bitch.
Dab.
What's this? That's a taste.
That's weirdly not like spicy where it's like, my mouth, but like I get cinnamon out of it.
I get like peppermint that's gone slightly bad.
Okay. I like it. It doesn't taste like cherry as much as it
I
tastes
know.
like cinnamon.
I'm at this bottle cap is beautiful drunk.
Okay, so you gotta tell your story before it passes out.
Look at this
Go
bottle
for it.
cap. Like
What's that?
stand
You
up.
gotta-
No,
you gotta-
no, real quick.
How do you
Just
gotta
stand
find-
up and look at this.
Why do I gotta
It's a nice
stand?
bottle cap. All right,
You have to go around to steady side because then the light is able to shine
Here,
on
wait,
it.
I got
When you stand up,
It's that's
Okay,
how light
I can
works.
see it. I can see it. It looks nice.
do you see the holographic ring around it?
I do.
I see a ring around it.
Are you
Okay.
sure you're just drinking? Are you on acid?
He's not on acid.
We're
we don't,
pro acid.
we don't have. Do we have any acid left over? I think we're out.
I'm gonna edit that.
In?
I'm gonna keep it in. College.
All right.
And it's 2017.
By acid, I mean vinegar.
Here,
Apple
do you want
cider
s-
vinegar.
How about we start your story over from the beginning?
If it started or not.
He hasn't started. Just be quiet and let him.
Ow.
Oh, what did I do?
You hit me.
Just okay.
My boyfriend beats me. Let it be kept
That's
on
the
the
other way
record.
around.
Don't leave this out. Let the world know
This is an incredibly
my
kinky-
story.
It's incredibly
I'm
kinky
just gonna
household.
hold him now, gently, and you can tell your story.
It's
I'm being restrained. Where are my shoulders?
I don't know.
right?
Where are my shoulders? They're here. Where is my neck? It's here. What are you trying to do
Where's my
when you
pussy?
twist it back and block my shoulders?
Where's my crack?
You're
I blocked
trying
your shoulder.
to make me into an owl and break my goddamn neck.
My pussy and my crack.
Ow.
I'm sorry.
It's 2017. Literally Halloween. Oh, they're kissing. That's so cute. I met.
I'm sorry. I need a moment.
It's just like you can't interrupt the story if he's kissing me.
It's 2017 Halloween. I'm in college. Oh my god. I don't actually know. I think I'm a sophomore, but I might be wrong. It's 2021 right now, right?
Yeah. No, it's 2020 part 2.
Yeah, we're not out of this year. But I'm in acting school, and the thing about my acting college is that in the fall season we have a play and a musical, and usually around Halloween is the time that the musical is in full swing. No, not the musical. The play is in full swing. And this year I was in the musical, and at that point this is already wrapped up in the beginning of October. So I'm not in a show right now, but a majority of my friends are. Mm-hmm. That being said, it's Halloween, everybody's in a show, and nobody's doing anything Halloween related. Because I think it's on a weekday. Mm-hmm. I don't remember. But it's 2017. Majority of my friends are doing this show. My roommates are out doing something. And I'm thinking to myself, it's Halloween. I'm going to go to Chipotle. Because if you go to Chipotle in a Halloween costume, you get a free burrito. I think they stopped doing that. But this is going to be important, I promise. But they stopped doing that. But back in the day, you could show up in a Halloween costume, get a free burrito. I have Foxxo like a skin tight woman's fox costume. And like I wore clothes over it, obviously, but like I had it so the tail was sticking out, but I'm wearing clothes and ears over it. I get my free burrito, sitting down at a Chipotle, thinking to myself, it's like what, 8 o'clock in the PM? The sun's down. I'm going to the woods. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna walk around in the woods in the middle of the night on Halloween because
I'm ask questions about this costume.
I can show you a picture of it. It's actually not that hot. It's very unhot, and I don't think I own it anymore.
Aw.
What's your question? If you're wondering why Linda
Why'd
Godfrey...
you make my boner sad?
I'm sorry. If you're wondering why
edit this out.
Linda Godfrey never responded to me, this is essentially the email I sent her. So, I'm at Oakland University in Rochester, Michigan, 10 minutes away from Bald Mountain State Recreation Area, where a Dogman sighting that I previously mentioned took place. At that time, I actually didn't read up on the books. I just kind of vaguely knew the Dogman as a legend because it's like, oh, furry, this is fun. I like this. I didn't actually look up all the lore. And so it never dawned on me that it'd be out there. But I go out into the woods on Halloween night regardless. Bald Mountain State Recreation Area actually has two different sections, the north section and the south section. The south section having a loop with a little small loop on top that kind of like has a little figure 8, but the top part of the 8 is so small. Unimportant. I went to the top loop, which is actually two equal loops on their side, intersected by a dirt road. Each around maybe like 4-mile loops, making a total of 8. I decided to do the one on the left, so I only do the 5 miles, I think. Actually, I don't remember. And that's like a 2-hour hike. So I'm out in the woods for 2 hours in the middle of the night. At the first quarter of the trail, I passed by some hunters who were dragging a deer along on a sled, and as soon as I rounded the corner and they shone their flashlight on me, both of them freaked the fuck out because I didn't take my fox costume off. And they're like, oh my god! And it was very funny. And little did I know, they might have seen something in the woods beforehand, but here I am with a fox costume being a dick. So I never asked them because I didn't think about it, but if they saw the Dogman and then saw me, sorry.
They saw the dog.
Wow. Oh my god! The Dogman is caused by furries.
You know?
It's caused by our ancestral furries.
There's maybe a fursuit even, though.
It's caused by the forerunner fursuits. The fursuits before fursuits were really a thing.
Oh yeah, the mascot costumes.
Oh, I remember the guy, the first fursuit picture where it's a guy who probably killed a bunch of actual animals for it, and it's actually very sad.
Oh, I didn't know
it was
that.
like in the 1920s or something. It's this guy with a... it doesn't matter.
Or on a lighter note, Jesus Christ, the people who fake Bigfoot sightings in their Bigfoot costumes.
They're all Bigfoot's real, just like.
There's a chance at it, but most likely a lot of the sightings that people see are that of black bears in a really dense environment. Like the Pacific Northwest is a super dense forested region.
I'm gonna say, if Bigfoot exists, it's playing by the same spiritual spooky rules as the Dogman. No biological component whatsoever. Anyway, here I am on this trail.
I actually believe more in the biological component if a Bigfoot exists at all.
It's just because you don't have remains and shit. I'm gonna assume it's like not.
Maybe they have elephant burial grounds. Like
people
just
so
imagine Sasquatch burial grounds.
Anyway, nothing happens until 7/8 of the way through the trail. 7/8 of the way through the trail, and I'm probably about like 10 minutes from my car at this point.
Very exact measurements.
Oh yeah, because I like thought about this a lot. I hear something large sneeze to my right, and then dash off into the woods before I could look at it, splashing into a river, which kind of like you got to cross over a bridge, so it didn't cross over the bridge, obviously.
It was a pupper.
Well, I'll get to that.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm like, okay, deer. We're having fun in the woods. It's a deer. And I don't really get afraid. But then, quite literally 1 minute away from my car, not exaggerating, I'm very close to my car, and if I weren't, I'm afraid of what would have happened. I hear I'm like rounding a corner, Making like imagine a fork in the road without one of the sides. It's just got like a kind of obtuse angle, and at that corner, something really large growls at me. I turn and see a shape, and then I'm like overwhelmed by a sense of calm in a way where it's like I'm gonna turn my flashlight off and walk slowly to my car, and everything will be all right. And I do that. I'm like very calm. I'm like, I'm just gonna walk to my car. I get in my car, the feeling's gone. I turn on the fucking lights. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I can't see it. It wasn't there at that point. And I'm gonna like also say I heard the sound immediately in my car. Googled what the fuck a bear growl sounds like. Wasn't that? Googled what a wolf sounds like. Kind of was that. Wolves don't live in Michigan. Wasn't also a coyote. Coyotes are not good at making sounds. They're very weird.
Coyotes are very cute.
I go home.
They will eat your cats.
Oh yeah, coyotes are very adorable. But I go home and my friends are back at that point. I'm like, y'all, I think I just saw the Dogman. That's my Dogman story.
Okay, so it's not werewolves; it's psychic werewolves.
Psychic
They're
werewolves.
psychic werewolves, dog.
Because okay,
want this.
your story matches with the Incredible Calm story.
Yeah, that's why
It's
that
all
one I
about-
saved
so-
for second to last.
So I'm wondering whether or not
You also have a guardian werewolf.
I hope.
whether A, you have a garden werewolf, or B, these are psychic werewolves, or C, unfortunately the most likely, did you hear that last story and pick up this extra detail?
No.
And include this extra detail.
No, I actually, like, you can believe me, the audience, as you decree. I had no idea, like, Linda Godfrey, any of that shit, until I got back, Googled all that stuff, got really into it, bought, like, 2 books, went back to the woods multiple times in the middle of the night under full moons and shit, found nothing. I am addicted to this story.
It's a plot of
Can I ask you an honest question?
Go for it.
Do you ever lube up first in the hopes that you'll get fucked by the Michigan Dogman?
I clean out. If you're curious.
I mean, there is this one famous porn comic among furries involving going to the woods repeatedly to find werewolves.
I wish I were joking. I wish I were joking. I'm not joking.
Are you talking
The Red
Oh,
Rescue
you
one?
got it, you got it.
Where is
Is it the Red Rescue one?
Where is it? Fuck.
I
Yeah,
actually,
let's plug Red Rusker.
Red
That doesn't
Rusker.
sound weird at all.
Let's plug Red Rusker.
I actually did read that comic before going out to the woods, which is why I am the way I am.
Alone in the
woods.
woods.
Yeah, alone in the
Except
woods.
he wasn't alone.
He wasn't alone. There was a werewolf in his
I tried to recreate
big
it.
knot.
So I didn't look up Linda Godfrey before the encounter, but I sure as hell looked at this comic multiple times.
I like how you're putting it near the microphone as if this is gonna like pick up
Everybody-
the comic book.
The website's called e621.net. Just type in Red Rusker. Look for.
What will you do if this podcast gets like big?
Oh,
Well, I mean,
absolutely.
It's not gonna change
Reap
anything.
what I sow.
Reap what you sow,
Reap what I sow.
and what you sow is.
Come.
Yeah.
Seeds.
I want to say something that you will have to edit out later, so I'm not gonna.
Okay. Well, don't say it now. I gotta edit it out. I don't want to do that.
You don't?
Why do I want? Well, it's an effort.
Yeah. Do something serious.
Oh no! oh! Hey, bitch! Do you want to have to do 2 extra hours of work later?
It's gonna be like 2
Oh,
minutes.
Oh, I'm gonna cost you 2 minutes, baby. It's like a little nipple twist.
Like I'm gonna make a PB. And
Later,
J
I'm
that
gonna
time.
make you do.
Call back that I'm gonna edit out.
Nipple twist?
Which is the
That was
PB&Js.
called that? Oh, okay, alright.
Oh, right, the PB&Js.
Anyway, we're back at the podcast. Now that I've told you my story, what are y'all opinions like for real? Like y'all, what do you think this is?
10,000% psychic werewolves are real.
Okay.
I'm drunk enough to believe this.
I think
Bears.
that
There are coordinations
I respect you, Kay.
between these stories
Psychic bears.
that make you think, oh shit, if it's psychic, you know, it's probably some sort of like psychic semi-bear, or what are they called, multi-bears?
Multi-bears?
I don't know what a multi-bear is.
I
but
like it, multi-bears.
Multi-bears?
Oh, or like
What?
flesh bears, or
We gotta go back. What's a multi-bear?
Is that from... Wait, was that
that's from Gravity Falls.
Yeah, I don't think it's from Gravity Falls.
Oh my god. Oh, I know what that is. Thank you.
Oh shit! Now I remember what a multi-bear is. That is not what I was thinking of.
Gotcha.
But some sort of like in between canine or bear thing I could see.
Okay.
Or
A bear hound. That was an actual creature from 3.5. Monster Manual 3. Look it up.
Owlbear. I'm gonna say, my opinion is, I definitely believe in it because I saw it, but like, there's no biological component to this whatsoever, and a majority of the stories are probably faked or somebody seeing a bear or some shit, and I will recognize that, especially since people are not taking pictures.
Also, that one guy who said it was like a bear track, but with one fewer toe. That was a bear missing a toe.
Fair.
damn.
I am gonna give it I'm fully on board with like ghosts and shit.
No, he said it looked like a dog track, but wider.
Looks like a bear.
No. No. A dog track looks different than a bear track.
Know.
You
I've seen
misappropriated.
We have a knife again.
Why are you taking the knife out of the sheath? That's a sharp knife. That can actually stab someone.
We have a knife again. What are you doing with the knife?
That's a real one. Put that one back.
What are you doing with the knife?
I was playing with the sting because it's fake.
This is the podcast where we play with knives drunk.
Hey, I played with a fake knife.
At some point, that knife has gotten
put away
out.
the knife.
I respect you all.
Relax.
Because I'm alive still.
You don't respect my right to knives, apparently.
Well, it's mixed with alcohol poorly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mixed with alcohol.
since I love ghosts and like spirit beings and stuff like that, there's probably like Kay is gonna look at me, say some words or whatever, but like
Some words. Sorry, I'll be nice.
I'm like
That was
into
you on the chair.
not like multiverse stuff, but like I believe that there's layers of existence, spiritual, etc. And if the Dogman is real, which I do believe it is, it's not a physical thing. A lot of the encounters evolve like an emotional manipulation to a degree, be it like abject fear, which is also understandable, or weird calm. And so like there's a spiritual thing to it where maybe it doesn't take up mass, but it kind of half does because it leaves behind prints and stuff, but no body, no damage, maybe claws, marks, and things. And I'm gonna like say also, I think Bigfoot would fall into that category. If Bigfoot exists, it's not a biological thing. I think it's a spiritual thing. And so that's my opinion on the Dogman.
See, I'm drunk enough to believe that maybe all the things I read in Werewolf the Apocalypse aren't bullshit. Because like this sounds like the sort of manipulation of the veil, as it were, over supernatural things where people are tend to disbelieve or only see like broken bits and images,
Like Percy Jackson.
or like in Percy Jackson.
You know, they got that.
Like it's a common trope.
Yeah.
Tropes
Too old
are,
for those
but like
books.
tropes
When they
and
came out.
stereotypes are often born from some real thing, and then
You might have taken
overblown
some.
or projected onto multiple things by other things.
The concept
Jordan
from
Lucas is
the
a
concept
great
of
song.
another world is literally older than fiction.
Oh,
Well,
I wish
not
you
literally
hadn't
older
drowned
fiction,
out the
but
part
that's
after
fiction.
I'm not
Anyway.
racist by Jordan Lucas.
I know what to edit.
Yeah,
I love you.
I love
older
you
than
too.
history. There we go.
Okay, Pup's on the bear train.
It's a bear.
Tippy
Okay.
toe, tippy toe.
Do bears live in
We're gonna
Wisconsin?
get a tip today.
I don't know. I've never checked.
Yeah.
Probably.
You live here. What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. I don't go out in the woods
Fuck
looking for
that.
bears.
I feel like
Get some
you-
dick today.
You should
I live in
know if
Madison.
bears live in your state.
Why? They don't come in.
I just feel like
the
it's useful information.
The closest I've ever come to encountering dangerous wildlife is a deer.
I've gone backpacking.
Horses.
Oh, yeah. Horses are domesticated.
Oh, full disclosure. So I went, like, last October, I went backpacking in the Manistee River Trail. It was like a 21-mile thing. And when I got back, the first thing my boyfriend asked me was, did you go there to look for the Dogman? The answer...
It may surprise you.
It may surprise you.
Or
The
may
answer
not.
Or may not surprise you at all.
is yes. I really want to see it again. Hey, I know I haven't done the Beast
Do you
of...
want to ask it questions?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have questions. I just want to know your thoughts. What do you guys think of the story?
I want to hear what
I
you're
like the
about to
stories.
say.
I was gonna say, if I haven't done the Beast of Bray Road episode yet, but we could just go there right now. Not right now. Tomorrow.
We could go there soon.
Yeah, it's really drunk. I can't drive.
That's true.
I can drive.
No.
No, you can't. I'm the one who's
For
closest.
the record, I was saying that purely in jest. I am in no way good to drive.
Yeah, I'm the one who's closest to being able to drive. But I should still
Even
wait an
then,
hour
I
or
wouldn't
so.
trust you to drive.
I should still wait an hour or two.
Right.
Drink some
We're on the
water,
we're on the
eat some bread.
the denouement now.
The denouement.
Who's the denouement now?
It's just like we're on we hit the climax and
It's
now
the
we're
end
on
of,
the
it's the wrap
resolution.
up, the end of the book.
Yeah. Anybody have anything they want to say?
Now?
Oh, the denouement.
So I was waiting for a chance all episode to bust this thing out.
You used the word denouement.
Well, what
good
else are you
word.
gonna use it? Your
I don't
ending.
know.
It's the ending. It's near the ending.
Linda Godfrey's a sexual powerhouse.
Oh wait, say that again.
Linda Godfrey's a sexual powerhouse.
Wait, let's try that one more time. Here, I'll do it.
Okay, 1 second. Go.
Linda Godfrey is a sexual power.
I interrupted you.
Alright, let me know when you're ready, okay? Linda Godfrey is a
You gotta do it fast.
Gotta do it faster.
Okay, give me a signal for when you're actually fucking doing it.
No. It's you paused after the word Linda Godfrey, so it started speaking.
To a degree, I am cutting this part out.
Yeah.
But only because it's
Alright,
instructions.
Linda Godfrey is a sexual beast. What the fuck? Let's go one more time. Let's go.
Say it a little faster.
Linda Godfrey is a sexual powerhouse.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Linda Godfrey is a sexual power.
She's a sexual force.
Wait. Never mind.
Okay.
Wait. I want to do that in Monster Truck voice. Okay, I do want to do it in Monster Truck voice.
You're not gonna be able to get through it.
Y'all.
Alright. Linda Godfrey
I'm so excited.
is a sexual powerhouse. Wait. One more time. No, the sexual powerhouse. Sexual powerhouse. Sexual powers. What the fuck?
I'm trying to get castrated.
Yippee yo, yippee ki
I'm not trying to get castrated.
You little gremlin. You dirty little gremlin.
I fucking suck.
Your cage is gonna get tight later when you're listening to this.
I mean, yeah, but it's gonna get soft again when I laugh. Do we have anything else to say?
Is your laugh muscles like anti-connected to your dick muscles?
My brain muscle make both hard.
We didn't actually explain what's happening. This is a talking hamster toy. Basically, just repeats back the last thing you said in a high
And
pitched
ruins podcasts.
improves.
It's actually a children's toy. You can also use it to scare your pets, which is really funny.
Do y'all have anything else about the Dogman?
Or irritate your partners.
Or the
also really
podcast
funny.
host? Do you all have any?
No.
Do you all feel like you have any Dogman?
This is perfectly consensual.
Do you have any Dogman information in
Nuggy,
in your heart, in your brain?
I have never seen a Dogman, but ow, my face.
Your face is getting hot. Do you feel like we wrapped it up? Does anybody have any parting thoughts?
No. I'm actually totally into this. So
Okay,
I
go
think
for it.
there is a serious, tangible connection between what you see in Werewolf the Apocalypse with the Veil and this telepathic link that some people, talk about feeling calm or not going for cameras, or the people that do have cameras get their shit stolen. The fact that someone got their car broken into is either A, bullshit the most likely, but we're in the magical world of drunken whimsy.
Yeah.
So in the magical world of drunken whimsy,
Just take
Take another shot.
in the
Agreed.
magical world, you're the only one who understands me. who understands.
Jameson?
Jameson, you're the only one who understands me.
Make audio jokes, not visual jokes.
This is for us. This is for us.
This is for us. Are you and Jameson, or am I involved?
I'm cuddling a Jameson bottle once again for the sake of comedy. And the best part about visual jokes in a podcast is that, like John Cena, you can't see me, but maybe you can hear the distortion of my hand doing the waving motion.
I'm a good mic. It'll pick it up normally.
Or maybe it will pick it up with the distortion.
I hope.
I hope so too.
Yeah,
just for a sense of whimsy.
I like
Also,
whimsy.
seriously, the ergonomics of this bottle are like genuinely astounding. Like look at how perfectly this suits me from jawline up to like the side of my head.
I like that.
Like, it's just a very cuddleable bottle.
Kay's over there playing Magic the Gathering against nobody.
Yeah, I'm just goldfishing my deck.
Did we
He
do
plays
it?
with his
think
deck
we
because he
did.
can't play with himself.
Did we
Play
do the
myself.
podcast?
I think we're done with the podcast, right?
No,
I have nothing
I
else to
kinda
say.
Wait, say something.
Oh, I really liked your stories and they were fun.
I did like the
And
story.
thank
I
you.
believe you.
Oh, thank you.
I want to believe you.
Thank you.
I want to believe you.
Whether or not anything supernatural actually happens, I do like stories about packs of werewolves playing pranks on people.
That's my favorite one because they're just fucking around.
I like the school one was the best. You just like they just go back as like a different werewolf.
These are
Yeah.
fucking
They hear them all having
guys.
an argument in the back. It's just like this is deciding what to do about these fuckers.
It's so
These
good.
are metas from Werewolf of the Apocalypse, living in the motherfucking woods and just fucking around with human society when they come in contact with it.
I hope so. Like, if it's not okay, actually, I never even entertained that
And they
thought.
understand what guns are, and that's why they ran away.
Yeah, like,
Or tried to attack the gun.
if they actually never explored that thought. Like, what if werewolves are real? These are just werewolves. Like, do we believe in werewolves as a society yet?
No,
Well,
not a society, of course.
do you think what do you think is more likely, werewolf or spiritual being?
I neither. I don't think
Pick one!
Wait. Spirit, what do you mean by spiritual being?
Like some sort of entity that has a not a corporeal form like an animal, but exists like in a spirit realm, can manifest really, and then go back to spirit realm.
I'm gonna go with spiritual being, I guess, because that's less. It makes a little bit more sense to me.
Okay. I dig it. Are you on team werewolf, team biology, or team spiritual being for Crimson?
He's too drunk to answer.
I respect that.
No!
He's
My
thinking about it.
boyfriend's a big enough of a dick to answer for me, apparently.
The gears are turning.
Wheels are turning.
I'm not sober either.
We're having fun at this podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you very much for attending this drunken session of the... What's the podcast name again?
Foxxo Esoterica.
Foxxo Esoterica.
Yeah.
Wait, let me say that in my announcer voice. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for attending this episode of Foxxo Esoterica. This has been your guest, Crimson.
And K.
And Forsetti. Usually, I do this accidentally, and everyone in the room's going to think I'm very rude when I do this. But I think I'm just going to make a tradition out of it, and I'm going to end the podcast with a hearty, fuck you!